No, hang on. Wait. 1 second. Just talk to me for 1 second.
So this is from Ozark, which is a show I just started watching because everyone tells me I should. And yeah, let's see what we learn about negotiation.
More shoreline than the whole coast of California.
Excuse me?
This place right here has more shoreline than the whole coast of California. And apparently, every summer, hang on, listen to me. Every summer, the population of this place explodes. Tons of tourists, Midwesterners from all over the place, blue collar, white collar, loaded with cash. Okay? So I got this brochure.
I gotta go.
Hang on 1 second. Got this brochure last week, scouting businesses, and I brought it back to talk to Bruce about it. And I was going to talk to you about it because I want to put the house on the market, and I want to move down there with the family, and I want to do what we do down there. You're right about Chicago. You got the FBI and the ATF and the CIA, and they're circling around Chicago, and they're tapping phones, and they're monitoring bank accounts, and we need a new hub. I need a new hub. Okay? This place, it's away from every single law enforcement agency in the U.S., and it's cash rich.
Okay, so this is a bit of a theme for negotiation videos I've been looking at because it involves drugs. Boy, we are seeing a change in power dynamic already in this negotiation. I'm going to say more about that later.
Okay? Think about it. I mean, what do? I launder 10% of what the cartel does in the U.S., right? And even if you piecemeal like 5% off to some other guy, which I doubt that you do, but even if you do, that's 85% that's getting shipped across the border into Mexico, all right? And how much of that's getting seized? A lot. It's a waste. How much of it's getting siphoned off to, bribe the border patrol guys and the cops and the politicians and the judges and all that stuff? It's all going out the window. Just give it to me. I want more than just the 10%. I want it all, and I want to take it down there, okay? What did these guys take from you? Was it 8? Is that what they said? I'll get you that. I'll put that together. I'll make you whole. You call it earnest money, okay? I give that to you. But then I take me and my family, and we go down to the Ozarks, just like I planned. And I just start washing money. Tons of it. Nothing but washed money. That's all that matters. Come on. 5 years, 3 years, and I'll launder twice what we're doing right now. 5 years, $500 million. I can do that.
So this is bidding against oneself. When we are nervous in negotiation, we sometimes talk a lot and sometimes we talk too much. And maybe Jason Bateman, right? He's making a pledge for 5 years. No, I'll do it in 3 years. No, in 5 years, I'll get you $500 million. I mean, we would definitely suggest at this point to Dell to just keep his mouth shut, because keeping his mouth shut is just winning him more right here. We should also advise Jason Bateman's character, stop talking.
It's got more shoreline than the whole coast.
You said that already. Here we go. 500 million in 5 years.
No question.
You have 48 hours to get me my money.
Okay.
Cash. No financial instruments, no wire transfer, no cashier's checks. Cash, all of it.
Cash. I understand.
After I have my money, you have another 48 to be on the road to these Ozarks. I want you to be ready to set up shop within a week.
Yeah.
And Marty, when I drive by your house, there better be a for sale sign on your lawn. Vengan los muchachos.
Well, that's at least a short-term win, but there's a number of things to really unpack here from a negotiation perspective. I want to focus on at least two in particular. One is the role of power in negotiation. So we start this scene with Jason Bateman clearly having very little power. He's about ready to get killed. Also, it's not just the gun, it's also Dell has a whole bunch of his cronies around him. And Marty, Jason Bateman's character, he's all by himself. So one way of proceeding is just to assume it's all over, right? But another way of proceeding is to think about power not as unidimensional, but as multidimensional. And there's structural power here, the kind of a mass of people, and also the use of physical force with a gun and weapons. But there's other kinds of power. One major kind of power in negotiation, of course, is persuasive power. There's also informational power. Here, Bateman is taking advantage of informational power. The fact that he has done some research on a way that he could advance Dell's interests very well, right? And it's moving to a place where some of the concerns he had heard mentioned earlier around, for example, law enforcement being taken advantage of by others of his Confederates, limits on how much money he can make, that these could be removed. So when we think about power and negotiation, I always want us to think about not just the obvious kind of who has a lot of structural power to force a choice here, but really good negotiators also draw upon informational power. They also know the levers of value creation. Here we see a situation again where Bateman's character understands that he has some resources and capabilities that Dell doesn't have. And so power can be shifted and is shifted in the negotiation. Second thing I want to talk about is the use of time. So Dell does this pretty interestingly, right? In the beginning, as Bateman's starting to talk, he says, I need to go. And so what he's doing there from a negotiation perspective is creating a sense of urgency that you have to make your case. And to be clear, this sense of urgency is entirely made up and constructed. The way this scene is, it's not like the police are coming. It's not like the FBI is coming. There's nothing really that Dell has to do. But he says, you don't have a lot of time. We see him do this again later in the clip. He basically says, you have 48 hours to get me money in all cash. You have 48 hours to get your house on the market after that. And you have a week to get things set up. This in negotiation is the use of deadlines. And deadlines are a really powerful tool in negotiation to motivate action, to motivate decision-making, to motivate a sense of urgency. Negotiators use deadlines all the time. In 1998, then President Bill Clinton and Special Envoy to Ireland, Senator George Mitchell, used Good Friday 1998 as a deadline to force the parties in Ireland to come to an agreement that led to the Good Friday Accords. And in this clip, we see the same use of deadlines. So one, as a negotiator, I want to make strategic use of deadlines to my advantage. But two, when I'm on the other side of that negotiation, I want to think about, is this a real deadline? Or is this a made-up deadline, a constructed deadline? I myself have been in negotiations many times where someone has said something like, Bob, we really need to know by end of business Friday. And when that is said, I feel the sense of urgency like, oh my gosh, end of business Friday. I'm so busy. How am I going to make that decision? But I've trained myself to say, so it sounds like you want to hear by the end of business Friday. Help me understand what the urgency is. Almost always, there's nothing. They'll say something like, well, we just want to move forward, or we just need decisions. So it sounds like it's really important that decisions get made, and gosh, I'm really sympathetic to that. Help me understand what's magical about Friday at 5. Almost always, they're stuck. And so it's a way for me to buy more time. So as we look at this clip, right, two powerful things being used, right? A shift in power dynamics and a strategic use of time. The last thing I'll say, as I mentioned during the clip, is this tendency when we're anxious in a negotiation to keep talking and talking and talking and bidding against ourselves. And so as brilliantly as Jason Bateman is in shifting the power of the negotiation, he starts to give some of that up by making concessions without any request for concessions, right? I can get you whatever he says, I think, a year or 6 months. I can get you 300 million or 500 million with no request from the other side. So when you are making some kind of proposal, just stop. Don't make bids against yourself. Don't make concessions unless there's a good reason to. And if you want to see another harrowing but fun negotiation scene with some life and death consequences, take a look at this one from Better Call Saul. If you have some clips from TV shows or movies you'd like me to take a look at, please let me know in the comments below. Here's that video. Keep watching.